Hello, my name is Darryl Kwao with some more business news for you. The Ghana Cooperative Agricultural Producers and Marketing Association, AgriCorp, is asking government to pass the new Cooperative Bill. According to the group, the current cooperative law is outmoded and does not address modern-day challenges. The new bill, when passed into law, is expected to address bottlenecks in the operations of cooperatives and related bodies. This came to light at AgriCorp's stakeholder engagement at Ashaiman here in the Greater Accra region to discuss what is expected to go into the bill. There's more in this report.
Currently, agriculture cooperatives in Ghana form about 70% of the total cooperative sector and generate employment for many people. These include raw material for export and domestic consumption. However, most of the agricultural cooperative societies over the years have been dormant. With the proposed bill, AgriCorp, among other things, would want to produce 1% of Ghana's export and domestic needs. Albert Boache from Ghana Cooperative Council shares how the current law limits cooperatives.
We need to have the rights of our members. For example, we have the department controlling everything. He being the regulator, at the same time the promoter. It's not done anyway. Government can regulate the activities of cooperatives and allow the cooperatives to be the promoters of their own game. Because I remember 2000, Kenya's government came here together with the cooperatives, came here to learn from Ghana cooperatives. And as I speak to you, Kenya contributes more than 50% to the GDP. So this means that if we are allowed to operate as an independent body, we can achieve that.
Consultant to AgriCorp, lawyer Gloria Ofori-Buedu, says the bill must reflect International Cooperative Alliance principles.
The cooperative law is basically, as it exists now, is 51 years old, and the stakeholders have seen some aspects which do not augur well for development. For example, the cumbersome process for registering a new cooperative. And as you know, cooperatives are made up of individual self-employed entrepreneurs who have pulled their resources together to produce and market their products in larger quantities for the benefit of their cooperatives, themselves, their families, and the nation.
Member of AgriCorp, Reverend John T. Tekbe, is unhappy over a policy introduced 2 years ago.
We believe already that the cooperative is working and there's no need of war coming into being. What we want to see is that if there is anything that IDA can do is to assist cooperative farmers at the Winya, organize them and let them know what they are to do, than coming in with a policy which they themselves don't understand, they themselves have to be educated into.
With the support of BUSAC Fund, the group is reviving its membership to help address challenges facing them.
Well, the month of September is here again with associated high expenditures. Parents make purchases to get their children back to school. This could really impact significantly on finances of parents and guardians. Charles Aite has visited the Central Business District of Accra to gauge the level of expenditure for this academic year, and he comes through with this report.
Trunks, chop boxes, and so on. These make you know time is up once again to go to school. It's a busy market day here at the Central Business District of Accra. Parents and guardians are trooping in to various shops to make purchases for stationery boxes and other consumables for their wards.
Last year, this chop boxes was 80 cedis.
This man sells trunks and chop boxes. He's been here since 6 a.m. He tells me low demand for these hitherto highly demanded boxes have now reduced prices drastically.
This year, the chop box is 60 and the trunk was 90.
Why?
Because the price, the market is not moving fast. So we decided to adjust the prices.
So people will be buying more?
Yeah. But still, we are not seeing nothing.
The mad rush for several kinds of textbooks for students who are going to school. The question remains, how far are parents willing to spend in this time to get their wards to school?
So they count it great joy to come and buy the book.
Samuel Kwame Abuache is a manager of Topman Book Center and is satisfied with business so far in this book season.
They count it great joy buy for the season.
My daughter have got school and now I'm coming to buy a scientific calculator for her.
For this parent, spending over 2,000 cedis in stationery is a ritual she'd committed herself to over the past years. Things are expensive, she tells me.
Almost 2,000.
2,000.
Yes, it's normal. Yes, because others are even using 2,500 and 3,000. Because I know that my daughter will be going to school, so I have to prepare for her.
The September rush season has also become an opportunity for others to create alternative employment for themselves.
Actually, to save money for school, God willing, next year.
Next year. So how much do you charge?
It's 5 cedis per trunk or chore box.
5 cedis per trunk. No reduction.
No, it's a fixed price.
And how has the business been like? How many guys do you get to inscribe their names on their trunks?
You can get about 10 people a day for chore box and trunks, so making a pair each. So you can get about 50 cedis a day. When there is market, I think 100 cedis.
The month of September to various families and of course guardians come with a huge financial burden. The question now remains whether or not recent hike in fuel prices and the dynamics in market systems could really have an impact on their pockets. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
Well, another issue students have to grapple with is with accommodation. The Dean of Students of the University of Ghana, Professor Godfrey Bockman, says plans are underway to ensure the Student Representative Council of the University of Ghana gets its own hostel to help mitigate the persistent accommodation crisis students face. Alberta Bisu has more in this report.
Following our recent visit to the University of Ghana campus, it came up that some students are selling their beds at exorbitant prices, taking advantage of a lack of beds and hostel facilities.
Some go within 2,200. I think that was the cheapest you find on campus. As we speak now, 2,200. You could have some as far as 5,000, 4,000. And it's funny, but you could get a piece of land with that particular amount of money. And that's the price of a bed. And that's just for the same.
In reaction, the Dean of Students of the University of Ghana, Professor Godfrey Bockman, said university authorities are in talks with some security agencies like the BNI to investigate the issue. He mentioned that the university will take drastic measures against corporates.
It's shameful. We are all Ghanaians. Why would we want to do this to our fellow Ghanaians? I just can't understand that. Okay, I mean, of course, human weakness is prone to evil and exhibits itself in ways like this, but we are working at it. We're actually collaborating with the BNI, we are collaborating with the police, they are investigating this. And last year, we did that investigation, and those who were caught were actually dealt with it.
He further added the university should be given the opportunity to regulate hostel facility fees while government manages the academic fees.
Left to me alone, government should not regulate residential fees, because when you do so, it becomes unattractive to the private sector in partnering the university in delivering housing facilities, because then they don't have control. For instance, if you look at the experience of Calban with government interference and all of that, it doesn't communicate well. So government can focus on academic and then leave the universities the opportunity to be able to regulate both in terms of pricing, residential fees and the provision.
Professor Bockman also noted that there are plans to start construction of an SRC hostel facility to ease the pressure on accommodation.
SRC dues is one of the lowest among public universities. We can scale up a bit as a seed money and also leverage on that in getting bridge financing to ensure. So hopefully by the end of this year, the SRC hostel is going to take off.
The school authorities are hoping to partner with private entities to build more hostels. Alberta Bisu's report for Joy Business.
And that's it for business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Sports is up next.